not for the faint of heart. Viewer discretion strongly advised.
The day began as any other, with the promise of reconciliation, of family, of time shared between a mother, a father, and a child. Yet beneath the fragile surface of normalcy, shadows lingered, hidden sorrows, veiled resentments, and a darkness that would soon consume all. What unfolded that night would not be a tale of love or loss, but of betrayal so deep, it would leave only the bitterest of echoes. It was a night marked by a plan, a brutal end, and a truth that no one could have ever foreseen. This is the story of Trisha Todd. On the 26th of April, 2016, Trisha Todd was in the company of her ex-husband, Stephen Williams, and their 2-year-old daughter, Faith. Despite their divorce after 11 years of marriage, their parting was amicable, as they had known each other since childhood. Both had served in the Air Force, but following their divorce, 33-year-old Trisha left the service and relocated to Hobe Sound, Florida, with Faith. As it was her hometown and her family still resided there, Trisha aspired to become a registered nurse, and to support herself and her daughter, she quickly secured employment at a hospice. Trisha held full custody of Faith, while Stephen's military commitments dictated the frequency of his visits. That week in April, he journeyed from his base in North Carolina to Florida, renting an Airbnb for his stay. On the 26th, Trisha entrusted Faith to Stephen's care for the evening. The following day, Trisha was scheduled to hand Faith to a babysitter and proceed to work. Yet her employers noted that Trisha was absent and she had failed to notify anyone of her absence, which was highly uncharacteristic. She was usually very punctual and responsible. Concerned, her family planned a wellness check and visited her residence, discovering her car parked across the street rather than in its usual spot, with her purse on the passenger seat. Inside the house, groceries were left out on the counter, and the lights remained on, suggesting she had not intended to be away for long. Alarmed, her family reported her missing. Investigators uncovered security footage from the 26th, showing Trisha shopping at a grocery store. The purchased items were found in her home, indicating that all was good and well up to that point. A neighbor was interrogated, and he informed the detectives that he had observed Trisha departing that evening in her car. Detectives checked Trisha's cell phone records, which placed her at Stephen's Airbnb. Stephen was questioned, and he confirmed her visit, but claimed she left after some time. He stated that when she failed to collect Faith the next morning, he took their daughter to the babysitter before attending to his duties. He suggested that Trisha occasionally embarked on solitary walks to meditate, to clear her thoughts, and to connect with God, a practice her family corroborated. Delving deeper, authorities learned that Trisha often took solitary strolls along the beach and had conversed with a particular man. However, security footage confirmed that on the night of her disappearance, this individual was observing turtles laying eggs, with no sign of Trisha present. Investigators also examined other men in her life, including one she appeared infatuated with, but found no connections to her vanishing. Scrutinizing Trisha's personal effects, such as her cell phone and diary, opened a window into her deep personal thoughts that revealed unsettling truths. Despite the outwardly amicable divorce, her journal disclosed that Stephen had a much sinister side to him. He was not the Prince Charming everyone imagined him to be. He had previously abused Trisha, both verbally and physically, kicking her in the stomach during her pregnancy. He had stooped to horrific depths by killing her beloved pets. Him strangling her 2 small dogs was the straw that broke the camel's back. Stephen's mother divulged that her son harbored a bitter animosity towards Trisha, as he often wished that she would just die or fall off the face of the earth. Stephen's mother feared his involvement in this case. With mounting evidence, police discovered security footage of Stephen driving both his and Trisha's cars on the night she vanished, placing him near her home. Initially, Stephen denied any involvement, professing ignorance of her whereabouts. Under further questioning, his narrative shifted multiple times, but one fact became evident: Trisha was deceased. The investigation transitioned from a search for a missing person to a quest to locate her body and uncover the circumstances of her death. Stephen's confessions evolved from claiming he merely found Trisha dead and, in a panic, disposed of her body, to asserting he accidentally killed her that night. Ultimately, he revealed the full extent of his malevolence. On the 26th of April, Stephen spent the entire day mustering the resolve to murder Trisha. His visit to Florida was not to spend time with Faith, but to execute his sinister plan. After she left for the night, he beckoned her to return on some pretext. Upon her arrival, he immediately rendered her unconscious by hitting her on the head. When she regained consciousness, Stephen demanded her email password, intending to fabricate a message for her loved ones, suggesting she had left voluntarily. Perhaps ran away with a lover or decided to start a new life without anyone's interference. As Trisha screamed hysterically, threatened that he would never get away with abusing her like he had previously, Stephen punched her with such lethal force that she was silenced forever. Stephen had meticulously orchestrated the crime. Beforehand, he had purchased a chainsaw in North Carolina, acquired acid, and excavated a deep hole in Hungerland Wildlife Reserve. After murdering Trisha, he placed her body in a trash bag and loaded it into her car. His plan began to unravel when he realized the car was low on gas, necessitating a trip to purchase fuel, which was captured on various security cameras. Friends, it's easy to forget that nowadays. Eyes are everywhere. Security cameras are monitoring our every move. After refueling at the gas station, Stephen transported Trisha's body to the reserve. Using the chainsaw, he removed her teeth and fingertips to hinder identification. Then he meticulously dismembered her. Afterwards, he submerged her remains in a tub filled with acid, attempting to obliterate any trace of her existence. When questioned about his motives, Stephen claimed he desired full custody of Faith and that he was weary of Trisha's perceived disrespect. In exchange for revealing the location of Trisha's remains, he was charged with the lesser offense of second-degree murder and sentenced to 35 years in prison. Without the plea deal, he would have undoubtedly faced the death penalty. Friends, please tell us what you think of this kind of justice. Share your opinion in the comment section. For such a heinous crime, isn't a paltry 35-year sentence extremely lenient? A man capable of killing small dogs without remorse would have no compunction in ending his ex-wife's life. He meticulously planned her murder and dismemberment, displaying a chilling indifference, despite her being his childhood friend, and most importantly, the mother of his daughter. Such a cold-hearted and ruthless killer should never, ever see the light of the day. He does not deserve freedom. Ever. Friends, this was Trisha Todd's story.